Hello, ladies and gentlemen, good people of planet Earth and those outside the planetary system. This is Jed from Your Guitar Academy. Today we're going to be looking at Smokestack Lightning by Howlin Wolf. Okay, so let's jump into the riff. So what we're going to be doing here is we've got our thumb of our right hand's going to be pedaling that low E string, and that's going to be happening on each beat of the bar. And the whole thing is over, the whole riff is over 2 bars. So you got... Okay, so this the first thing that happens is a low E string on the first beat. And the second beat, we're going to do the low E string and the top E string together as a pluck. And the third beat, we're going to do the pluck again, but this time we're going to be playing the 3rd fret on the top E string. So. Then on the 4th beat, we're going to do the low E string again by itself. So. Then on the and of 4, we're going to do this slide from the 2nd fret to the 4th fret with our middle finger. When we get to the 4th fret, that's beat 1 of the next bar. So we want to hit that low E string again. And what's happening there is we're going to be hitting this 3rd fret on the B string on the off beat in between. We also want to keep the 4th fret held down, the middle finger note. So we slide up, hit the low E string at the same time, hit that note on the B string, and we return to the G string note, and it will be a pluck with the G string and the low E string together. So let me just talk about the ending of this riff. So we're sliding down, so we got 4th fret to the 2nd fret. That's a pluck with the low E string as well. Open G string by itself. Then we're landing on the root note on the D string, 2nd fret. And that's a pluck with the low E string as well. And that's the 4th beat of that bar. And then the riff repeats itself. So let me play it in its entirety again. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. Another thing to mention is, I think, on the recording of this, I think it's just the first few times that this note here on the high E string is plucked. It then becomes this note, so the flat 7 or the 3rd fret on the B string. So alternatively, this riff would sound like this. The only thing I've changed there is the note that's happening on the 3rd beat of that first bar. So instead of playing, we're playing. Everything else is the same. It's good to know that. So alternatively, you can play, but on some recordings, this part is played without that low thumping bass with the thumb. And that's interesting because you miss out the first beat. So if you play this by yourself, it's interesting to play. It would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's two different ways you can play that. If you're playing by yourself, or maybe with just one other person or a drummer, you can do it with the thumb. If you're playing with a band, if you've got piano or bass, or if there's more instrumentation, you can play less and just play the single line. A good thing to mention is variation. So again, these old blues guys, they played how they felt. And I think they changed things a lot. So you'll hear different recordings that sound different. They're slower, maybe in tempo, different key, that kind of thing. Also, I have my own variation on this tune. There's some subtle differences. So the way that I play this, I do it with the thumb. I'll just play that for you now. So I play it like this. But again, I'm not too rigid with it. I like to improvise. And so if I feel or think of something or hear something while I'm doing that, I'll try and put it in. What I'm doing there, on that third beat, I'm incorporating the B string. So instead of just playing this third fret on the top E string, I'm also playing the second fret on the B. And you get that kind of slightly dissonant. That would be your 13. So, and I, again, bend it to just give it some feel. And then here, I don't go back to the note on the G string. I just stay on the note on the B string. So, and sometimes I'll do a little kind of flutter or a hammer on at the last part. So the whole thing again sounds like this. I'll put in some improvising and variations. So we've got. Have as much fun with this piece as you can. You might actually do that with every piece you play, but with this piece in particular, it's just one chord, it's just E the whole way through. So jam it out, try different things, see how weird and wild you can go with it. It's because it's one chord, it allows you to do that. You can be very playful with it. But thanks very much for tuning into this video. If you have any questions or queries about it, all the information should be in the description below. Otherwise, thanks very much, and I'll see you next time.